Hello guys, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I will see ionization enthalpy, how it varies in groups and periods. Variation of ionization enthalpy. Long periods and groups. So in periods, ionization enthalpy in periods from left to right increases because of from left to right nuclear charge is increases, correct? Effective nuclear charge. Effective nuclear charge is increases and also atomic size decreases. That's why ionization enthalpy increases. Due to atomic size decreases and nuclear charge increases from left to right in periods. So along the period, atomic size is decreasing, nuclear charge is increasing. That's what ionization enthalpy also increases. In the periodic table, alkali metals have lowest ionization enthalpy, noble gases having highest ionization enthalpy. The periodic table, alkali metal element low ionization energy, noble gases having higher ionization energy. Next in groups, from top to bottom, ionization enthalpy decreases. From top to bottom, ionization energy decreases. Due to increased size and screening effect.
Sir,
Tell me.
sir, in yesterday's class, you gave a point screening effect of orbitals, sir.
Screening effect of
Orbitals.
size and because of orbitals only screening effect is increasing.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm not getting clearly.
Sir, you gave S is greater than P, P is greater than D, D is greater than M. What does that mean?
I said, so s orbital, electrons present in s orbital causes more screening effect than p orbital, than d orbital, than f orbital.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Completed. 3 points.
Sir, 1 minute. Finish, sir.
All of you completed?
Yes, sir.
Now, drawn graph. Here, ionization enthalpy, this side, y-axis. Here, atomic number. In first period, only hydrogen, helium are the elements. Hydrogen, here helium. Next, in second period, the first element is lithium. In second period element, the 18th group element is neon. Third period, the first element is sodium. Argon. Potassium. Krypton. Rubidium. Cesium. So in the graph, see, these are alkali metals, first group element. First group elements having lowest ionization enthalpies. In the periodic table, only alkali metals having the lowest ionization enthalpies. In their respective periods, noble gases having the highest ionization enthalpy.
So,
Yeah,
I had a couple of thoughts before that. Why are lithium and beryllium not predominantly ionic?
okay. Those are not ready to lose electrons when they are mostly involved in covalent bonding. See, lithium and beryllium, those always try to share its electrons, not by losing or gaining electrons. These are sharing electrons, these two elements.
Okay.
Because in their respective group elements, these two elements only having the highest ionization energies. That is one reason. Another reason is they won't become stable by losing electrons. That's what they are sharing the electrons. Especially beryllium. Mostly it is sharing electrons and forming covalent compounds. What? Tell me.
Sir, can you repeat this?
Yeah.
This one? Not this one.
Yes, the whole thing, sir. The graph.
This is not mandatory. This one is.
So another thing, why is the 16th group called as chalcogen?
Those are forming ore forming elements. Chalcogen mean ore. See, in this graph, general alkali metal elements, first group elements having lowest ionization enthalpies. In their respective period, noble gas is having the highest ionization enthalpy. In the first period, only element hydrogen and helium are present. Hydrogen having lowest, helium having the highest. The second period element, lithium to neon, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, up to neon. Neon having the highest ionization enthalpy, lithium having the lowest. Next, in third period, sodium having lowest, argon having highest ionization enthalpy. The periodic table, if you select any particular period, their alkali metal lowest ionization enthalpy, 18th group element, noble gas having highest ionization enthalpy. You are asking chalcogen. 16th group elements are called chalcogen. Chalcogen means ore forming. If you see any element in its ore like Fe2O3 or Fe3O4, copper sulfide, CuFeS2. Most of the ore and metal ores, either oxygen or sulfur or selenium, tellurium only involving. That's what these elements are called chalcogen.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Completed graph?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, one application. Application of ionization energy. First one is, right, the successive ionization enthalpy. Successive ionization energy of elements useful to determine relative stability of oxidation states of element. Example, aluminium, first ionization enthalpy, use aluminium plus one electron is coming out. First ionization enthalpy is 577 kilojoule per mole. Next, Al plus. You need to take everything in gaseous state only. Al2 plus electron. Second ionization enthalpy 1795 kilojoule per mole. Al2 plus third ionization enthalpy gives Al3 plus one electron. Third ionization enthalpy 2758 kilojoule per mole. Fourth ionization enthalpy is 11,580 kilojoule per mole. Note down this ionization enthalpy.
So 11,500
80. 580 kilojoule per mole. Okay, just here one point note down. If the difference between two successive ionization enthalpies greater than 1450 kilojoule per mole or 15 electron volt or 15 electron volt per atom, lower oxidation state is stable. Suppose if the difference is below 1450, the lower oxidation state is unstable. This one point is sufficient to determine oxidation state of element.
Sir, what's lower oxidation state?
Lower, okay, oxidation state means we are saying no valency. This is only called valency, only we are calling oxidation state.
Okay.
If we completed this one point,
No, sir.
1 minute.
Sir, can you repeat the sentence after 1450 kg per mole?
or 15 electron volt per atom or 15 electron volt per atom.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Lower oxidation state is stable.
Finished, sir.
Okay. Now we'll do difference between successive ionization enthalpy.
So
Continue,
one
not that
second,
note
sir.
down.
What is lower oxidation state again, sir?
Now I will tell you. Listen,
Okay,
what
sure.
is the lower and higher oxidation state.
Okay.
Second ionization enthalpy minus first ionization enthalpy. How much is value? 1795 minus 577. How much? Difference. Tell me how much difference?
So 1 to 18.
1 to
18.
18. Okay. 1 to 18 is lower than 1450, right? 1 to 180 is lower than 1450. So that means the lower oxidation state means +1 oxidation state is unstable. Aluminium won't show +1 oxidation state, that meaning. This is the lower oxidation state, aluminium +1. Now compare again, third ionization enthalpy minus second ionization enthalpy. So here if you want to write Al plus is unstable is equal to third ionization enthalpy is 2758 minus 1795. How much this value?
963.
963. Yes, this is also lower than 1450. That means the lower oxidation state here. Which one? This is only lower. Second ionization enthalpy means Al 2 plus is unstable. Next, fourth ionization enthalpy minus third ionization enthalpy. 11,580 minus 2,758. How much difference?
So 8822.
8822. So this is greater than 1450. So now Al3 plus is, this is only lower here. Al3 plus is stable. So aluminum shows +3 oxidation state. Completed, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now I will give you two elements ionization enthalpies. By simply seeing those ionization enthalpies, we can find out what is the oxidation state or valency of elements. Lithium 1s2, 2s1. So it's successive ionization enthalpies. I'm writing here. First ionization enthalpy, second ionization enthalpy, third ionization enthalpy. And one more element is there, that is fourth ionization enthalpy. For lithium, first ionization enthalpy is 520, 7,297, 11,810. Next, beryllium. 1s2, 2s2. First ionization enthalpy is 899. Second one is 1757, 14,850, 21,000. So observe the first for lithium. What is the stable oxidation state of lithium?
So +2.
No need to go through this much big process also. Simply wherever you see big
+1
jump,
oxidation state.
yeah, +1 oxidation. Wherever you see big jump in the oxidation ionization enthalpy, that's the lower oxidation state is more stable. Here 520, here 7,297. So much difference is there here. Big jump is there in this ionization enthalpy. That's what you can remove only first electron. Observe this electronic configuration 1s2, 2s1. Only 520 kilojoule per mole energy is only enough to remove first electron. Less energy one. But for removing of second electron is much difficult because high ionization energy is required, because main reason is it having helium configuration. After losing one electron, 1s2 is the electronic configuration of helium, highly stable electronic configuration. That's what removing of second electron is much difficult. So for lithium, stable oxidation state is
Sir, but 520 is less than 1450. So how is it stable?
what I'm telling about 520. What you are asking?
520 kilojoule per mole is less than 1450.
I'm not talking about first ionization. Difference you need to take. First ionization enthalpy, second ionization enthalpy. How much difference is coming? More than 1450?
Oh.
Yes.
So,
That means,
yes, sir. Yes,
see,
sir. Okay,
one thing.
got it.
Observe the first ionization enthalpy, 520 means okay, fine. But second ionization enthalpy 7,000. You can remove first electron easily. Second electron removing is difficult. That means it can show only +1 oxidation state. You are able to remove only one electron. Tell me.
Okay.
So, but in aluminum, if you do the third IE minus the second IE, you're getting something higher than 1450. But still, you're writing that the third.
Where? So how much difference that one? Second and third difference.
8,822.
Not 8,000. 8,000, no chance. I think you wrote mistake. The difference is maybe 963. Second and third. Okay. See, for lithium, stable oxidation state is +1. Now see, for beryllium, 1s2, 2s2 electronic configuration. First ionization enthalpy is 899. Okay. Second ionization enthalpy 1757. So from here to here, there is no big jump. It's almost double only, not big jump. So see now, 1757, 14,850. Here big jump is their ionization enthalpy. So here 899, 757. If you see third ionization enthalpy, this is very big jump. So that's what you can remove only first two electrons, first electron, second electron, unable to remove third electron. That means you are able to remove only 2 electrons. So for beryllium, stable oxidation state is only +2.
So for all the elements, there's just one stable oxidation state.
Not one. Elements having more than one stable oxidation state. That's only we are calling variable valency. It depends upon their electronic configuration.
So will we have to like learn the specific values, or will they give it to us? Of the-
ionization enthalpies,
Yes, sir.
no need to by heart. Don't by heart this value. Not mandatory. In question only they are giving ionization enthalpy.
Okay.
Just you have to know from left to right ionization enthalpy increases, top to down ionization enthalpy decreases, and few elements. I said no exceptions. Nitrogen and oxygen. On nitrogen have higher oxidation state, oxygen have lower. And no, here first group element having low ionization enthalpy values, 18th group having high ionization enthalpy values. You know, this fundamental concept is enough to solve the problem. Completed? Next question. The ionization potential of hydrogen is, right question? The ionization potential of hydrogen is, the ionization potential hydrogen is 13.60 electron volt. Calculate the energy in kilojoules. Calculate the energy in kilojoule mole inverse required to produce 0.1 mole of 6 plus ion. 6 plus ion given 1 electron volt is equal to 96.49 kilojoule per mole. Very simple, only unit conversion. So 1 electron volt is equal 96.49 kilojoule per mole. 13.6 electron volt is equal 96.49 into, take simply x, it will be easy. X is equal to 96.49 into 13.6 electron volt. It's multiple value, and 0.1 mole of hydrogen ionization energy is equal to 0.1 into 96.49 into 13.6. Multiply this whole value.
So 131.2264.
Very good. 131.226 kilojoule per mole.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Tell me.
Sir, is the ionization enthalpy of the F block elements more than the D block elements?
Yes. Because of small size, those elements having small size due to lanthanide contraction, a block element somewhat small in size.
Okay, so they will have more ionization enthalpy.
Yeah, having more ionization enthalpy. But the difference is very small, not like S and P block elements. The difference between ionization enthalpies of successive D block elements or in successive F block elements, very small difference will come. Because those all elements almost maintain same atomic sizes.
Okay.
Well, completed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Second question. First and second ionization energies of energy in kilojoule per mole of three elements given below. Element, first ionization enthalpy, second ionization enthalpy. First ionization element is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2, 3, 7, 2. Second ionization enthalpy 5 to 5. 520, 1300, 900, 1760, 1680. From 80. Which are the above elements? Which are the above elements likely to be first one, a reactive metal. B is a reactive non-metal. A reactive non-metal. C is a noble gas. D is a metal that forms stable binary halide MX2 type formula.
Sir,
Tell me.
sir, I think for A, it should be second one.
Yes, correct.
And for C, it should be first one.
Yes, correct.
So D should be third one.
D
A
should
reactive non-metal. No. First of all, noted a full question.
No, sir, D,
Yes,
D.
sir.
Question is noted.
Yes, sir.
Full question.
Yes, sir.
A metal that forms a stable binary halide in bracket form like MX2.
Yes, sir, that one only, third one.
Okay. Now answer the first one. A reactive metal. Answer.
2.
2 is correct. A reactive metal is 520. Alkali metals are highly reactive. So those having lowest ionization enthalpy. Correct. And B is a reactive non-metal. Just hold this and go to C. A noble gas. Noble gas is elements having highest first ionization enthalpy. This 4.
First one.
This having the highest
First one.
ionization enthalpy. The first one is noble gas. Next one, a reactive non-metal, and here a metal that forms a stable binary halide MX2. Compare these two now. A metal that forms stable binary halide. Here clearly giving the clue. A metal, and here a reactive non-metal. Non-metals in the periodic table right side. Metal is in left side. So metals having lowest ionization enthalpies compared to non-metal. That's what a reactive non-metal is 4. C is 4 and D is 3. This is second group element.
Sir, C is a noble gas, no? You wrote the question.
C, what is the C? Oh, yes, sorry. Here, A, B is answer is a reactive non-metal. B answer is reactive non-metal is 4. Yes. Now C is a noble gas 1. Fourth one binary halide
3.
3. This is okay. Okay, completed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next question is calculate the energy required calculate the energy required to convert all the atoms of magnesium to magnesium ions to magnesium ions present in 24 milligrams of magnesium vapor. Present in 24 milligrams of its vapor. First and second ionization energies of magnesium is 737.6 and 1450.73. Kilojoule per mole respectively. Okay, listen answer. To convert 1 mole of magnesium to 1 mole of Mg2 plus ion, required energy is sum of these two only, 737.6 plus 1450.73. Add these two.
So 2188.33.
What? No, how comes that much? This 1450, this is 737. Maybe 2200 something.
Yeah, sir, 2188.33.
2000.
188.33.
0.3. Okay.
33.
Kilojoule per mole. That is for 1 mole. The given question, how many moles of magnesium is there? Only 24 milligrams of magnesium is there. See how to calculate number of moles of magnesium. Number of moles of magnesium is given mass by given mass of magnesium divided by molar mass of magnesium or atomic mass of molar mass of magnesium. So given mass of magnesium is 24 milligrams, not in grams, 24 milligrams. So 24 into 10 power minus 3 grams divided by molar mass of magnesium is 24 grams. You know, atomic mass of elements. Hydrogen atomic mass is 1, helium is 4, lithium is 7, carbon having 12, like magnesium having 24. It's atomic mass. If you take molar mass, 24 grams. Now 1 into 10 power minus 3 mole.
So till where are we supposed to learn the molar masses?
Molar mass, atomic masses only. If you know atomic masses, that's only molar mass for elements.
Okay.
Actual atomic mass, we are taking in atomic mass units, AMU, but molar mass is giving in grams. Same number is same.
Yeah, I understood, but till which element are we supposed to learn the masses?
Periodic table giving, no?
So it will be given in the exam, or we have to by heart few of them?
You have to by heart for few elements.
Yeah, that's what, till where?
Up to 30 elements you have to learn. And some few special elements are there, like silver, bromine, iodine. Those elements automatically it will come in 12th standard.
Okay.
First of all, you need to learn for minimum 30 elements.
So the given mass of Mg is 24 into 10 to the power minus 3.
It's milligrams, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I convert into grams.
Okay, sir. Got it.
So we have to round the mass to the nearest whole number.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, here now finally we got 10 power minus 3 moles. For 1 mole of magnesium, to convert 1 mole of magnesium to 1 mole of magnesium plus 2 ions, we need this much energy. Just to convert 10 power minus 3 moles, how much energy is required? Multiply this and this, you will get answer. Right, final step. Amount of energy required to convert 24 milligram of magnesium to magnesium 2 plus ions is, multiply this and this, 2188.3 into, sorry, it is kilojoules, no? Kilojoules means 10 power 3 joules into 10 power minus 3. So this is cancelled. Final answer is 21883 joules per mole. Or if you want in kilojoules, 2.188 kilojoule per mole. This joule, symbol joule.
Sir, but it's given kilojoule per mole, sir.
Where?
Here, required energy is given to be.
Yeah, we calculate now final energy in kilojoules. Final energy we calculate in kilojoules. Just digit point is moving here. 1 kilo means 10 power 3.
Yeah.
You guys completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Among the elements, lithium, potassium, calcium, sulfur and krypton. Which one has the lowest first ionization enthalpy? Lowest first ionization enthalpy, and which one has the highest first ionization? The guys completed? Question. Among the elements lithium, potassium, calcium,
Sir,
sulfur
1
and
minute.
krypton.
1 minute, sir.
1.
So lowest is potassium and highest will be krypton.
Yes, correct. Lowest is potassium. Highest is krypton. Potassium. Highest first ionization potential or ionization energy is krypton. Okay. Next concept. So ionization enthalpy is completed. Next one, electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. Ananya, what is ionization enthalpy definition?
So the amount of energy required to remove the valence electron, like one electron in the valence shell of an element, is the ionization enthalpy.
Okay, fine. The amount of energy is required to remove electron, right? That's ionization enthalpy. That is actually endothermic process. We must have to invest energy to remove electron. But this is exothermic process. Listen carefully. Electron gain enthalpy. The amount of energy released. The amount of energy released when an extra electron is added to the isolated gaseous atom to become a unit negative ion. It's called electron gain enthalpy. So here electron we are adding, extra electron is adding into its valence shell. Electron is added into in its valence shell. So when you add electron, atom loses energy, atom gives out energy. So this is exothermic process. Right, first definition. Amount of energy released when extra electron is added to neutral gaseous isolated atom to become negative ion, like it anion. Called electron gain enthalpy. It is denoted by delta EGH. Units of electron gain enthalpy is same, kilojoule per mole or
Sir,
kilocalorie
it's
per mole.
denoted by
Delta symbol EGH. Suffix EGH or electron volt per atom. Another point, it is exothermic process, especially first electron gain enthalpy. First electron gain enthalpy is exothermic. See here how to show the reaction. Element, gaseous, isolated gaseous atom, adding one electron, it gives unit negative ion, anion. This is also in gaseous phase. Plus delta Eg. Some amount of energy is released. That's what energy I wrote in product side.
Sir, you have written first electron gain enthalpy is exothermic. So the second one is not?
Second one is not.
Sir, why, sir?
Repulsions exist. Already existed electron, incoming electron, repulsions exist. That's what second electron gain enthalpy is positive.
Sir, so the second electron gain enthalpy is endothermic. It releases
Yeah, second electron gain enthalpy is endothermic.
Okay.
First electron gain enthalpy of most of the elements negative only, but few elements maintains positive value. Even first electron gain enthalpy also for few elements positive. Second electron gain enthalpy of all the elements is positive.
Okay, sir.
So how does it become positive?
How?
How does it become positive? It is
Stability, because of stability. Already atom having stability. If you add electron, atom loses its stability. That's what we need to invest energy. Suppose noble gases are there. Noble gases are already they are stable. If you give electron, they become unstable. That's what the giving of electron is endothermic process. Okay, completed till here.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Sir, so does that mean there's a change in the nucleus?
Nucleus, no change. Nucleus, there is no change in the nucleus. Only valence shell electrons we are adding. Because of addition of valence electron, there exists repulsion. Already electron is there. If you add one more electron, repulsions exist. That's what second electron gain enthalpy is positive. And if you go for magnesium, beryllium, nitrogen, phosphorus, and noble gases, to those elements, electron gain enthalpy, first electron gain enthalpy is positive values because they are already having stability. If you add extra electron, they become unstable.
Sir, so the elements which do not have either a half-filled orbital or a full-filled orbital, all are considered unstable?
No, full-filled orbitals are elements which having full-filled configuration, they are stable.
Okay.
Elements which having half-filled also almost not completely stable. Okay, they are also stable, but they involve in chemical bonding. Like nitrogen, there is a half-filled electronic configuration, but it participates in chemical bonding. However, that having somewhat better stability than other elements.
Sir, so the elements which involve in chemical bonding are only stable after they combine to form an element,
Yeah,
right?
yes. After involved in chemical reaction, they become more stable.
Okay, sir. Sorry, to form a compound.
Yeah.
Sir, you told the second electron gain enthalpy is positive, right?
Yes.
So how 2 minus anions are formed then?
During the chemical reaction, excess of energy is released. During chemical reaction, amount of energy releases. By utilizing that energy, this another element gains second electron also. Suppose if you see the formation of Na2O, your oxygen is need to gain 2 electrons, right? Okay, first electron it gains easily. Second electron gaining is somewhat difficult. However, the nitrogen atom is loses energy by releasing. See, the sodium atom is loses electrons easily.
Yes, sir.
That's what during the process some energy is released. That's we are calling driving force. Here during the chemical reaction sodium and oxygen, there is some driving force. Then it forms 2Na, Na2O. The amount of energy released is here more than the amount of energy utilized. That's what Na2O formation is happening.
Okay.
There are many factors involved. One is enthalpy and entropy. It will come in thermodynamics, where we will discuss about this. Enthalpy and entropy. Tell me.
So whenever the energy which is given out is lesser than the energy utilized, it's positive.
Energy is?
Whenever the energy utilized to remove the atom is more than the energy given out, it's always positive.
Always?
Positive.
Positive, yes. Here energy of sodium to lose electron, somewhat energy is required more. To gain oxygen electron, first electron is easy. Second electron is difficult. But however, we need to not only consider enthalpy, here you need to consider entropy factor also. By considering entropy factor also, this reaction is spontaneous. Now, if you leave some sodium metal in normal air also, it catches fire because that is a spontaneous process. Reaction is easily takes place between sodium and oxygen.
Okay.
Completed this all points?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So here also, like successive ionization enthalpy, here also we have successive electron gain enthalpy, but we are studying only 2 electron gain enthalpy, first electron gain enthalpy and second electron gain enthalpy. About this, note down few points. Already I said the first electron gain enthalpy is exothermic process. Second electron gain enthalpy of all the elements. 1 minute. First electron gain enthalpy of few elements also positive. First electron gain enthalpy of few elements such as beryllium, bracket its value is plus 66. Magnesium plus 67. Nitrogen plus 31. And noble acid. Positive electron gain enthalpy. Second electron gain enthalpy of all the elements is all elements having positive value. Second electron gain enthalpy of all the elements table is positive. Because repulsions exist between already existed extra electron and incoming electron. This is the diagram. So suppose this atom having only 5 electrons are there. We are giving one extra electron. So nucleus having only 5 units positive charge. We gave one extra electron. Electrons are now 6. Fine. Now you are trying to give one more electron, 7th electron. It is somewhat difficult because already existed extra electron, 6th electron, and the incoming 7th electron repulsions exist. That's what second electron gain enthalpy is always positive. Got it? Here any doubt, ma, about second electron gain enthalpy? Anirudh, ask me, any doubt?
No, sir.
Repulsions exist because already existed extra electron and incoming electron repulsions exist. So second electron gain enthalpy is always positive. You guys completed second point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now write again these two equations. Enthalpy of reaction is negative. First, this is first electron gain enthalpy. Adding of second electron, it gives M2 minus, but this is positive, means it is endothermic. This is exothermic, endothermic. Completed. Next, write factors affecting electron gain enthalpy. Factors affecting electron gain enthalpy. Here, three factors are affecting the electron gain enthalpy. Just listen, tomorrow you wrote notebook. First one is atomic size.
So should we write?
No, just listen. Tomorrow you may write a notebook. First one is
Okay,
atomic
sir.
size. See how is atomic size and electron gain enthalpy relation. Suppose atomic size is increasing. Atomic size is increasing. The incoming electron and the nucleus, the distance between the incoming electron and nucleus increases now. The incoming electron, between incoming electron and nucleus, the distance is increases. That's what
Sir,
the
could you
attractive.
repeat?
See, the distance between the nucleus and the incoming electron increases. Atomic size increases. The distance between nucleus and incoming electron increases. That's why the attractive forces between nucleus and valence electron is decreased. So, electron gain enthalpy also decreases with increase of atomic size. If nucleus strongly attracts the electron, large amount of energy releases. Suppose nucleus is attracting, but simply slowly it is attracting the nucleus, weakly attracting the incoming electron. In such cases, it releases less amount of energy. So during this process, it is strongly attracting. Here, amount of energy released is minus 345 kilojoules. Strongly attraction between the incoming electron and nucleus. But here, it's somewhat lengthy. Weak attraction between incoming electron and nucleus. Here releasing only 200 kilojoule per mole. So here releasing large amount of energy, here releasing less amount of energy. That's what atomic size increases, electron gain enthalpy decreases. You don't see this sign value with sign. This sign, negative sign refers amount of energy is releasing. Here in which case amount of energy is releasing more? First case or second case?
First
In
case.
first case, large amount of energy is released. So in first case only having higher electron gain enthalpy. You don't see negative sign. So this is a small value, this is big value. Here don't see with magnitude along with sign. Here sign refers only amount of energy is releasing. It refers exothermic process. So here having higher electron gain enthalpy. That is about atomic size. If atomic size increases, the attractive forces between the nucleus and the incoming electron decreases. So electron gain enthalpy also decreases. Second factor is nuclear charge. Nuclear charge increases, electron gain enthalpy increases. Also compare with lithium and fluorine. Lithium nuclear charge only 3 units, fluorine having 9 units. Higher the nuclear charge, force of attraction between incoming electron and nucleus increases. Nuclear charge increases, attraction between incoming electron and nucleus increases. That's why the incoming electron is strongly attracted by the nucleus. So it easily releases large amount of energy. So with increase of nuclear charge, electron gain enthalpy also increases. Both are directly proportional. So your atomic size and electron gain enthalpy are inversely proportional. Nuclear charge and electron gain enthalpy both are directly proportional. Last one is completely filled and half filled orbitals having more stability. We already discussed about this. Elements which having completely filled orbitals, half filled orbitals, those are more stable. But to those elements, mostly electron gain enthalpy is positive, or sometimes it is a less value one. Suppose if you see nitrogen having half filled electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. All noble gases having completely filled electronic configuration. Those also having positive values, all noble gases. Nitrogen also having positive values. And if you come for phosphorus, arsenic. These also have half-filled configuration, but however, those having negative only, but less value. Electron gain enthalpy is less value here because it's having already somewhat stability. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sir, if the electron gain enthalpy is positive, then also the if the atomic size increases, then the electron gain enthalpy decreases. Like suppose
Yeah, yeah.
beryllium and magnesium.
If you see beryllium and magnesium, here beryllium is small in size, right? Magnesium size is bigger. Here electron gain enthalpy is I think plus 66 now.
Yeah, and
Magnesium having
67.
67. Here atomic size is increased. Yes?
Yeah, but then it's
Electron gain enthalpy is decreased. This is positive value. Carefully
oh,
observe.
okay. Yeah.
Electron gain enthalpy is decreased.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Tomorrow I will give you a note.
Thank you, sir.